Jason will see you then. It has been 2 years since Euclid police officer Jacob Derbin was killed in the line of duty. Now his family is suing. They say that his death should never have happened. Fosse Prokos spoke with the lawyer representing the family.
It's been a somber night for dozens who gathered here tonight for National Police Memorial Week. And for Officer Jacob Derbin, it marks 2 years since he was killed in the line of duty. Now his family is taking legal action over what they say led up to that night.
Patrolman Jacob J. Derbin.
Jacob Derbin's family wants the truth. They want answers. They want accountability.
2 years after Euclid police officer Jacob Derbin was shot and killed, his estate is suing the city of Euclid. Police Chief Scott Meyer, several officers and supervisors, and multiple employees and officials of Chagrin Valley Dispatch. The 23-year-old was on the job less than a year when he was killed May 11, 2024, responding to a domestic dispute call. The lawsuit alleges officers weren't adequately prepared and that supervisors and dispatch officials failed to initiate a safe response, also claiming dispatch left out critical details.
So the family at this stage is seeking answers to the questions they have about how and why Jacob Derbin died, about how and why it was that he and the other officers who responded to the scene didn't receive the supervision, the instruction, the training that they should have received to approach in a way that would allow everybody to remain safe and for Jacob Derbin to be here today.
The lawsuit also alleges no supervisors directed officers to form a tactical plan and says Derbin entered the backyard alone with only a flashlight and was shot. The family's attorney also raises concerns about what was included or left out of the state investigation.
In the investigation that agency conducted, the Euclid Police Department did not provide statements. Certain information that could and should have been available to BCI wasn't provided and wasn't therefore included ultimately in the sum of that investigation.
Fosse Prokos, 19.